Hi everyone, it's Catrice. It's been a while since I've done a video, but this is my official scrapbook room tour. I know I was supposed to follow up with the messy room scrapbook room tour, but you know how life gets in the way. So I'm going to name this my official scrapbook room tour because this is way overdue. So I'm going to go ahead and get started because there's a lot to go through, and I'm just going to go through it quickly. So I'm going to start here. This is an embellishment center, and I store my trims. I mean, not trims, but my like fibers and stuff like that. Fiber trim in those. And these are some large spool ribbons that I have. And I'm not really into lace that much, but these are the few that I have, and I store them here. And these are some Dollar Tree jars that I got last year with some wood embellishments like those spools and those little balls that you put on the bottom of your cigar boxes, stuff like that. I'm gonna go real slow so I won't make you dizzy. So I'll start here. This is my 8.5 by 11 cardstock. And they are stored by color. And this is the other side. And these are just the usual suspects in scrapbooking. These are all my Michaels frames. And I have a decent amount of colors. I usually get mine when they're like 25 cents, 50 cents. So I usually wait till they're really on clearance to really buy a lot. And so these are specialty papers. These are like flocked papers, any flocked or pattern type paper, stuff like that. And this is a baby drawer with baby embellishments, stickers, anything embellishment wise, anything to do with the baby goes in there. And this is my baby paper section. These are all 12 by 12s. And this is where I store all my 12 by 12 papers here, paper pads. And they are categorized by theme. And these are stored in these drawers are embellishments like brads and stuff like this is in this drawer. And this is a drawer of ribbon and chipboard alphas, sticker alphas. This is a drawer of rub-ons. I don't have that many, but I do have a drawer for that. And then it's just regular office supplies and adhesives, double-sided tape, anything to do with adhesive. And this is where my bling is. Swirl blings, I like recollections, this kind of stuff. And where you had pearl embellishments, recollections, embellishments, trims, stuff like that. And this is ribbon trim. Just all the usual stuff. Glitter glue, and this is where I store my Lindy stamp games. All that. And this is a catch-all drawer. Anything I don't know where to put, I put in there. And these three drawers are the same. These are catch-all drawers. So it's embellishments. I just don't know where to put them, so that's where they are. These are 12 by 12 open stock pattern papers. And they are categorized by color. And this is another basket for 12 by 12 papers. Stuff like that. This is a container just for my chipboard. Any chipboard, thin, colored, whatever it is, black, it goes in there. And these baskets I got from Marshall's last summer. So I really love those. Love the Paris theme. And these are my, these are some storage boxes I got from various places. And this is where I store my, you know, centers for flowers, like stuff like that. Put my archaic stuff in there. These are charms, any charms. These are my pearl beads. These are like extras for my stick pins and stuff like that. And these are the gemstones. So if they're like multifaceted gems, stuff like that, goes in there. And these are the findings and stick pin heads and stuff like that. So these boxes are full. So my rule is if the boxes are full, then nothing else can get in there. So that means Catrice can't buy anything. So that's my rule. And that's why I love these size boxes. So when it's full, that's it. So we're moving on to, this is where I store my Martha Stewart punches. Any Martha Stewart punches that I have, they are stored in here. I've tried other systems and this one just works best for me. Yes, I do have to pour it out in the floor, but I have a good space. So like far as floor space, I can just pour it out and look through. But yeah, I do have to look through. So sometimes that can be a headache if I'm rushing, but I'm generally okay with this system. So that's where all my Martha Stewart punches are. And this is a container of my trims. Any trims that I have, crochet, pearl, doesn't matter, whatever trims it is. And yes, I'm sure that looks disorganized too, but it's all packaged together. And yes, I have to pull it out on the floor, and they're packaged by color, so it's not as bad as it looks. So and I love that container. So I store all of it is stored in there, so that's good for me. And this is just a box with feathers and stuff like that. And these are more boxes with glitter ribbon, glitter crochet ribbon, and this is all just regular fabric ribbon. And these are coded by color. This is where I store my regular ink pads. Anything except for Tim Holtz. Any ink pads that I have, they are in here, and I store them upside down. And this is my Tim Holtz box with the ink pads and stuff, distress inks and all that stuff is in there. And paints, any paints that I have is stored in this box. And this is more ribbon. This is all ribbon. It's coded by color. So these boxes are pretty full. So that's the way I store those. And this is just a scene that I wanted in my room. And I got these are jewelry boxes. I got these from Ross last summer. And that's how I ended up with pink in this room. Pink is really not my favorite color, but these were so cute. And they were only $5.99 a piece. And I wanted them. So that's how I ended up with pink in this room. So they were so cute. And those are 12 by 12 papers on the backsplash. And I just put some black pom-pom trim up there to dress it up some more. And this is just some more room decor up there. And more room decor. And this is a basket full of brown, black, just brown and black flowers are in here. And this is actually a garbage can, and I fill that up with twine, any kind of twine trim that I have, it goes in there. And these are those pincushion mannequins got from Marshall's. I'm sure everybody's seen those. And of course, this is my Spellbinder collection. All of them are there. And this section is just a shelf full of white flowers. Any white flowers that I have, they go on this shelf. And they're in this container as well. And I got them stored in these little thingamajigs here. And this bottom row here is just colored flowers. All colored flowers. And yes, I have to pull them out on the floor to see them, but it works for me. So these are some extra flowers that I have. And this is another basket full of punches outside of Martha Stewart. So any punch that I have goes in here outside of Martha Stewart. And now we're moving to my closet. And this is a wall full of embellishments, like Jolie type embellishments, stuff like that, three-dimensional stuff. And they're all categorized by theme. So this is where I store all my scrap papers, and they're categorized by color. And this is another storage system where I keep my pens and markers and glue sticks, stuff like that. Just regular markers, Sharpies and stuff like that. And this is where I store my clear stamps. It may look like a lot down there, but it's really not. It's that's just the way I store them. They're not all bulky, but this is the extent of my clear stamps. And this is a container for Tim Holtz embellishments, and they're all in there. And this is where I store my wooden stamps. Any wood stamps go in there, so I don't have that many, but that is all that I will be buying. And so I've had those for a while, so, and I haven't bought wood stamps in a long time, so that's good. So this is another container where I mainly go to for when I make my stick pins. I have them stored in here. The other boxes, the first boxes that I showed, they were for like extra stuff. But this is where I go to first. This is how I actually really store my beads and stuff like that. And I got this container from Tuesday Morning a couple of years ago. It really works for me. So, oh, this is my thickers collection, whether they're shapes or whatever, but alphas, doesn't matter. All thickers go there. And I'm going to close that. And so now we're at the front of my home. So I like to look out the window, see what everyone's doing. So below that, I have some fabric flowers in here, those type of embellishments. And then I have my crochet flowers in here, stuff like that. And then these boxes, I have my Sizzix dies in here. Any few that I have, they go in here, and they're in here too. So that is what's in those. Then we have my paper shredder. And this is a little counter or whatever below my window. And these are some iron roses, those big mama jammas, I call them, roses and iron roses, those the real big ones. And I found this container at Ross last summer, and that's how I store them. This is my Making Memories carousel with all the usual suspects. You know about that. And this is where I store my greeting farm stamps here. And this is the extent of my collection. There's just a couple of gorgeous girls. Well, 3. And that's how I store those. And so this is a basket where I store all my inks for my printer. And this is a box full of leaves, like Recollections or Iron Roses, doesn't matter. They all go in there. And these are extra Lindy Stamp Gang stuff. I got a Stamp Gang drawer on the other side where all the Jet Maxes were. And this is just extra stuff. And so this is like Mod Podge and gesso and stuff like that. This is where I store my dynamo maker and all that other stuff, staples and stuff like that. And so this is where I store my Spectrum Noors. So my Greedy Farm stamps are there, and this is how I store my markers. And I'm gonna take a little time, I'm gonna go through it quickly, take a little time because I know I'm gonna get some questions on this. But this is how I store my initial set. And the initial set with a starter kit comes in packs of 6. And back in October or November, something like that, Joann's had a 60% off coupon. And I went back in the line 11 times. Yes, I did. And I got my packs for $5.99. And I was like, there is no way that I'm going to pass this deal up. So they allow me to, I did it over a couple of days, and I went to a couple of Joann's, but that's how I got my starter pack. Because Joann's only carry the only 11 sets. There are 12 in the initial set, so I ended up buying the 12th set from Overstock.com. It was still like 10 something, but it was a okay price. I mean, versus I was paying $5.99 for these. So this is how I store them, and I have them grouped the way they are packaged in with the rubber band, and this system works for me. So this is all, this entire set is the initial starter set. And then these are some re-inkers that that I had to get. Some of the markers were a little dry, so I went on and ordered a few of the ones that I needed, and this is where I store my Memento ink. And this is my color chart. And I use, for my coloring, I use paper tray ink. I use paper tray ink paper, the white cardstock, and I use the Crafter Companion paper. And I've used a couple of sheets of the Basil white cardstock, which I'm really liking that too. But I wanted to print this out. I chose the chart that you just print out, and you have to color them in yourself because I want to see the true colors. And that's the best way to actually see your markers, you know, how it looks on the paper. So I just printed it out and put it on the top of my, and this whole chart is for all the sets. It's for the entire set. So, and I just got it stored just in this one top for the initial set. And so I bought my sets like back in October, November. So since then, maybe a month or two ago, I ended up buying the other sets. There are 4 other sets of 24. There are lights and darks, pastels and brights. And I stored them the same way. Got a great deal on these. These were like $31 a pack. And that's the cheapest I had ever seen any of these markers. And I got mine from dickblick.com. And this is the way I store them. So that the dark was on top. And I have lights and darks stored in this one. So that's how I store my markers. And you know, I hear people say that you need to get all of them, but you really don't need to. You just need to know how to blend with your markers. And I learned a lot from just looking at tutorials just for the initial set, and you just need to know how to blend. But I wanted the entire set because with having the entire set, you could just make more color combinations, and that was the reason why I got those. There are tons of tutorials on Scraproom Tour and coloring with them. And then I did get I ended up with the DVD for the Scraproom Tour, which is awesome too. It's a very good, she did a really good job on that tutorial as well. So I know I was going to get some questions about that. So that's my spiel on Scraproom Tour. So this is a container where I store my paper trims. So that's how I store them. And then my Cuttlebug plates. And I'm just going to step back a little bit. I'm going to cover you up so you won't get dizzy. So this is the window. And so now this is the corner. And I'm going to start at the top. This is Shireen. Shireen made this for me, who is Sharon's. Her real name is Sharon. That's what I call her. But she made this for me. And she is Proud Mommy 702. I'm sure everyone knows her. This is a mini album that I won in the first Scrapping Queens of 2013. This is another mini album Shireen made for me. And I went to visit Shireen last summer at her beautiful, beautiful home and met her beautiful family. And this is one of the first photos that we took. And this is a frame she made for me because we did a swap about a year before that. Well, I should say 6 months before that. And these are some of the things she made for me. And this is a little embellishment trinket box she made. And that's a dress form that I got from Ross. And this is where I store my solid cardstock 12 by 12 papers. This is like glitter, and it's all solid. Pretty much all solids are up here. So this is all the collections. You got recollection, not recollections, the coordinations papers from Joanne. That's some basil. And so that's where I store my Cuttlebug and my Bind It All. And that's my little sticker maker, I guess that's what you call it, and some note cards. And this is the extent of my washi tape. That's it. That's all I need. And these are some of them texture plates. And this is my Cuttlebug collection, embossing folders. And this is a little catch-all basket. And yeah. So now we're moving over to one of my embellishment centers here. It's all filled with flowers. All flowers, flowers. I just love those containers. That's why they look so good on the embellishment centers from Recollections. And these are how I store my eyelets, as far as the We Are Memory Keeper eyelets. And they are all color coordinated. And this is another embellishment center with ribbon and flowers. And these are all eyelets as well, stored by color. More flowers, buttons, and white buttons, colored buttons, all kinds of stuff. And this is my desk, my computer. And this is fine. Oh, this is a project I just completed. I'll just go through this. I made this. I have two sisters that my mom adopted. They are my sisters, and they were adopted. They're now like 20 and 22. And they just reconnected with their brothers, their two brothers. And I just wanted to, we had like a big dinner for them, you know, getting all together. And I just wanted to document this for them. I made it very, very simple. I just decorated the front, and I used the black currant paper. And this is one of those 8x8 stands from Michaels. And so I just made it very, very simple. Just matted the photos. So I'm not going to do a separate video on this. So that's how simple it is. So it's front and back. So I just wanted to document the event. It was very, very nice. We had a really good time. And this is my silhouette. Finally my silhouette. Oh, I have a real story for this machine, but I won't get into it. But I used to have a Cricut. I still have my Cricut. I sold all my cartridges to my aunt. She's getting into scrapbooking. Hey, Pat! But she's getting into scrapbooking, so I sold my cartridges, and I finally got my silhouette. And that's that. And so this is my big workspace here. It's a really nice table. And this is just my regular photo, well, I should say my regular printer. And so that's my photo printer. I only print photos on this. This is my Canon IP100. Love that photo printer. And this is where I store all my like printer papers. This envelope is actually for my Spectrum Noir practicing stuff. All went in there. And this is where I store my photo papers and printer papers and stuff like that. So I'm going to cover you up so you won't get dizzy. Oh, and this is another project I was working on. This is just a collage that I made for my mom in her house. This is just a frame with a bunch of pictures of us. So she wanted me to do something like that. She's like, put some pictures together. So I just made it very simple. Made a white frame and put some rub and buff around the edges. Just made it very simple. So that is off to her tomorrow before I go to work. So I'm going to cover you up. So I'm going to go back to my... And this is just some work. You know how you scrapbook and you do projects and stuff, and you just end up, well, this is the way I used to be. I used to do stuff for everybody else, and there was nothing in my own home. And I'm like, I have to, you know, spruce up my own house with my projects and stuff. So these are just some of the things that, and I really started this a year and a half ago. I noticed I didn't have much in my own home. Everything was out of my house. So these are just some things that I've done. This is a little project that I put together the first time I went to the Scrapbook Expo back in 2010. That was my first time. And it's all documented in there. Some girls I used to scrap with. These are some good girlfriends that I work with. And that's just a 12 by 12 layout. This is just some other little things I've done. This is a Thanksgiving mini album, did it 2010. Another 12 by 12 layout. And this is a Halloween mini album that I did in 2009. And I'm really not even into Halloween. It's just I was watching so many Halloween mini album videos at the time. And I said, oh, I want to make one. And so this is a paper bag mini album. And so it's not even pictures in there. So that's how I'm not into Halloween. So it's not, I just wanted to make the album, whatever. So it's there. And these are some little tag mini albums I made, and another little box I made, and another little 12 by 12 layout. So I think I've covered everything. Just give you another overview of the room. Hope I'm not going too fast. But this is it. So guys, thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more. Bye-bye.